children to hate others because of their skin color.
That is a June 2021 school board meeting in Loudoun County, Virginia, and all those angry parents, they're protesting the teaching of critical race theory in their kids' schools. The only problem, and this may shock you, is that they're not teaching critical race theory in their kids' schools. Schools are teaching books like To Kill a Mockingbird, Beloved, and Anti-Racist Baby, and they've been getting banned across the country because of a critical race theory witch hunt. History curriculums have been revised to minimize the history of slavery and Jim Crow laws. Now, these developments can mostly be traced back to the critical race theory panic that began in 2020 and evolved into a conservative effort to label anything related to diversity and inclusion as critical race theory. But that's not what it was originally meant to be, like, at all. The concept of critical race theory originated with Harvard professor Derek Bell, but a law professor named Kimberly Crenshaw was the one to actually come up with the phrase critical race theory in the 1980s, describing it as a concept that emphasizes race as a social construct reinforced through systemic racism. So how did critical race theory go from something that was only really used as an academic and legal framework to a political lightning rod? Well, it started with a think tank. Over the last 40 years, as the number of think tanks grew, funding got more competitive, so some adopted more extreme views to attract donors. Enter Christopher Rufo and the Manhattan Institute. Now, in 2020, Rufo got a hold of anti-racism training materials that were being used by Seattle government departments. He soon noticed a trend. DEI-related materials referenced books by anti-racism leaders like Ibram X. Kendi, who themselves cited critical race theory scholars like Crenshaw and Bell. Rufo decided that conservatives needed a new boogeyman to point to, and critical race theory seemed like the perfect one, and his bet worked. In March 2021, he tweeted, "We have successfully frozen their brand, critical race theory, into the public conversation and are steadily driving up negative perceptions. We will eventually turn it toxic as we put all of the various cultural insanities under that brand category." And between fall 2020 and summer 2021, Rufo assisted with the language for more than 10 critical race theory bills, was quoted by Ron DeSantis and Tom Cotton, met Ted Cruz, and helped author former President Donald Trump's critical race theory executive order. The rise of the anti-critical race theory movement defies public opinion though. Per Gallup, most Americans do want schools to teach students about the impacts of racism. And Rufo's story is just the tip of the iceberg. Think tanks are working to push the US to the right on a number of fronts through efforts like the Heritage Foundation's Project 2025. The initiative features a 920-page manual laying out steps to save our country from the brink of disaster and dismantle the administrative state, including plans to get Trump or another conservative president elected, as well as proposed moves like firing up to 50,000 federal government employees. Culture war panic rarely reflects the view of the majority, but these think tanks continue to fit fringe positions into policy. And today, these panics fuel an entire political party, taking center stage at debates both on television and on X, formerly known as Twitter, usurping our national conversation and creating division. That is exactly what happened with critical race theory, which is how an obscure academic theory turned into the modern conservative movement's favorite lightning rod, perfectly suited for banning books and revising history.